Hi, welcome to Entrementor, my CEO Academy, where I coach you into becoming a world-class CEO. Listen intently, not passively, because at the end of the video I will ask you a few questions just to ensure you can actively record the information I've provided for you. I'll also leave you with a little exercise so that you can improve the skills that we work on today. The video today we're talking about leadership styles once again, and this time we're talking about laissez-faire leadership. What we're going to discuss is what are the characteristics of laissez-faire leadership, what are the pros, what are the cons, and how you can use it effectively. So let's get started. Laissez-faire leadership. This leadership style is based on the principle that the workers have the necessary skills and experience to carry out their work, and therefore any intervention by management is harmful. A laissez-faire leader makes their team feel less constrained and more valued. To be a laissez-faire leader requires an attitude of trust and reliance on your employees. You don't micromanage or get too involved. You don't give too much instruction or guidance. Instead, laissez-faire leaders let their employees use their creativity, resources, and experience to help them meet their goals. This kind of leadership style is very hands-off. Managers have to trust their employees and are confident in their abilities. They give guidance and take responsibility where needed, but this leadership style means that subordinates and team members have the real lead. With that being said, here are some advantages of laissez-faire leadership. Number 1. A highly experienced and skilled team can thrive. People who know what they're doing and have industry experience often love the freedom that laissez-faire leaders provide. There is no doubt that these people can do what they need to within guidelines without the leader's guidance. In fact, any input from the leader can be deemed a hindrance rather than a blessing. 2. Team members have creative freedom. Lack of restrictions creates an environment in which team members can showcase their skills. Furthermore, being tasked with making challenging decisions and finding solutions to problems quickly helps each team member hone his or her skills. 3. The retention rate of experts can increase. Most experts prefer the freedom to make their own decisions. If they are in a restricted work environment, they may search for opportunities to leave, thus increasing the turnover rate. The opposite also applies. The freedom a laissez-faire work environment provides increases the possibility of experts remaining loyal to the organization. Take the time to really think these things over. However, just because there are pros doesn't mean it's all good. There will always be cons as well. So here are some disadvantages. Teams that need consistent guidance fall apart. Autonomy works best with teams that are highly experienced and intrinsically motivated. Young team members with little or no experience need mentorship, guidance, and support. Without a strong and present leader, these inexperienced teams fall apart. This can, of course, be quite damaging, both for the team as well as its surroundings. This type of team could rather benefit from coaching leadership instead. Another disadvantage: the leader is viewed as uncaring and absent. The team's perception of their leader can largely impact their performance. Most teams want to know that their leader cares and is present to understand the challenges they face. Some people begin to lose trust in the leader and the organization if they hardly ever see or hear from the leader. Some prefer this free-rein leadership style and will still get the job done, but as you probably guess, the laissez-faire style is better suited for the second type of people. Productivity decreases. A team doesn't need an autocratic leader who stands over them with a whip to get things done. However, there still needs to be someone who holds each team member accountable. A laissez-faire leader accepts all responsibility and is therefore held accountable for the team's decisions. There's no real motivation to be productive and on target if no one except the leader is being held accountable. The leader needs to be aware of this and ensure that accountability measures are implemented. Refer to pace-setting leadership as an example. You can find it on videos that will come soon. Another disadvantage: team members are confused about their roles. It's difficult to determine who is responsible for the team direction when each person is free to make his or her own decision. Team members don't know who to look for direction and can be quite confused about where and how they fit in the organization. The question becomes, how can you balance these pros and cons and be effective with this leadership style? Okay, I'll give you some tips to answer this question. How can you bring everything together and make this style work for you? Firstly, you have to bring the right talent together. A laissez-faire leader should have a keen eye for spotting the right talent and use them to build a team of people who complement each other. This is often difficult to do and therefore requires immense skill. You should understand the organization's goals and the types of talent needed to make those goals possible. The teams should be talented, experienced, able to work together, and committed to helping the organization achieve its goals. This allows the leader to take a step back and perform the role of ensuring the team has exactly what it needs to get the job done. Also, it can take a lot of time to find the right people and also try them out so you know for sure that they're the right ones. Getting a stable team consisting of the right individuals can sometimes take years, so this is a sacrifice you have to be willing to make. Another way to bring everything together is to know how to efficiently procure and utilize resources. A big part of the laissez-faire leader's role is being able to provide the team with exactly what they need. The leader has to be very resourceful. Here are some tips to enhance resourcefulness. You can network. This helps to build a large network of influential people. Being able to pick up the phone and call someone who can help find the necessary resources makes a big difference. Since you won't be highly involved in the day-to-day functioning of the team, you should use that time to attend networking events and build a wide network. Problem-solving skills. Strong problem-solving skills are necessary to determine how best to provide the team with what it needs. Negotiation ability. Getting the right resources sometimes requires negotiating the best terms. A laissez-faire leader with strong negotiation skills has an edge. Okay, let's go back to useful tips for applying this style well. Don't be a micromanager. You should be able to relax and allow your team the greater freedom they need. Look, the blame rests on your shoulders if anything goes wary. That's one of the downsides of being a laissez-faire leader. However, if you can't relax and allow your team to do what they need to do, then this style of leadership really may not be for you. And here's my last tip for using this style effectively. Don't work too hard at becoming effective of one of the most ineffective leadership styles there is. Essentially, what I'm saying is, look, there are much better leadership styles. As your mentor, I will always walk you through every single leadership style, but I really don't recommend this. You need to consider better and more modern situational approaches to leadership, such as this situational leadership style, where you can amalgamate and use different leadership styles, depending on the situation, of course. Look, all in all, I really feel this leadership style has too many strong negatives for you to implement successfully, especially if you're leading a relatively new and inexperienced workforce. I won't recommend this style to you. However, of course, as I said, I'll walk you through every single style, and maybe you'll find a situation where you can use this style. Look, that's all about laissez-faire leadership. Remember what I said at the start about active recall. I'm going to ask you a few questions to see how well you are listening and if you can remember this information. So, name a few characteristics of this leadership style. Name a pro of laissez-faire leadership. Name a con of laissez-faire leadership. And name one tip to balance out the pros and cons and use the style effectively. Alright, that's the active recall out the way. I also told you I'll leave you with a little exercise for you to practice this leadership style in your real life and see if it works for you. So here's your homework to test your laissez-faire leadership. I want you to ask your partner, a friend or family member to plan the next time you eat out. Tell them what kind of restaurant, what kind of cuisine you're looking for, and maybe provide them with resources such as a food directory in your area or something from the internet perhaps. And that's that. Leave the rest of them. Let them pick out where you go to have dinner. Right? This will test your ability to find resources, get someone to buy into taking ownership and responsibility for what they're doing, and also relaxing and trusting someone else to complete the task. That's all for this video. I'm your mentor, and this is my CEO Academy. Remember, the treasures you seek lie in the cave you fear to enter.